Morning. I thought I'd do a talk on how relationships can be a beautiful accelerator for growth. It was in my early 20s that I kept on having very short relationships of maybe 3 months in total max. And a good friend of mine, I was talking about this reoccurring phenomena, and he said, "Do you realize that there's a pattern there, a common denominator?" And I said, well, okay, this girl this and this girl that. I said, no, do you find a common denominator? Okay, me? Yeah. So it started with that remark of my friend, and it resulted in doing a lot of self-inquiry, finding out what is the pattern that I keep on pursuing. And it became so clear that I even coined a term for it, which was the type of girl I would fall for every time was pretty face, sad eyes. Beautiful women, but there was like this little twinkle in her eye, a little bit of sadness, and it would evoke a certain "I'll save you, darling" mentality in me, which is of course a recipe for disaster. Over time I became more and more aware of it, and I could even see it just when I felt this urge or need to talk to a girl, that it was often linked to this pattern, and it would weaken over time, and it really took a number of years before the pattern completely disappeared. But actually diving into relationships is an integral part of dissolving it. It was clear that it was linked to my youth, where my parents didn't get along all that well, and I would see a certain sadness in my mother's eyes, and this automatic reaction would come of, I can make you happy, don't no worries, I'll make sure that everything is alright. So, and this also was passed on along to the type of women I would fall for. Now, it was around 4 years ago, and it was quite interesting because what happened was I was doing 2 salsa lessons back to back, and at the end of the first lesson I saw this girl walking up, and in the corner of my eye I already saw her, and the thought came to mind, really? Are we going to do this again? Because she was typically the type of girl I would fall for. Pretty face, sad eyes. But the interesting thing was that she was also quite aware of her patterns. And the first time we got together, I actually told her, I like you because of this unresolved pattern I have with my mom and my dad. And she said, I like you because of this unresolved pattern I have with my stepdad. For the next year and a half, 2 years, we kept on coming back together and get out and end the relationship. And this happened like 4 or 5 times. And because we were so aware of this pattern, it slowly started to dissolve, and we actually separated in love. And the result is that nowadays, when I encounter a certain type of woman that has exactly this characteristic that usually would result in me falling in love, it doesn't appear anymore. I can see it, like, hey, that would be the type of girl I would so fall for, but it simply doesn't happen. When you are able to allow for more awareness to come to your relationships and actually use these type of relationships as an accelerator for growth, it can help you dissolve dysfunctional patterns and actually be able to live a more lighter and beautiful life. I wish you a very good day, and talk to you soon.